Hey everybody, Don Cramer with Urban Nest Realty. Just want to welcome you to episode 1 of Coffee with Cramer. So we've got our coffee mugs here. We've got some real coffee, and my great first guest, Melissa Despy with Nevada State Bank. Actually, Melissa, you were the brainchild of this brand.
A little bit.
A little bit. You're like, hey, why don't we call it Coffee with Cramer? And like, by George, I think she's got it. So this whole show is about Las Vegas real estate news and information, and living in Las Vegas. We'll talk about all kinds of things over time. If you're watching this and you've got a specific question about real estate in Las Vegas or just general real estate questions, do us a favor, comment below in the comment stream. Also, for updates, hit the subscribe button. And also, if you like this episode, hit the likes. So thanks everyone out there tuning in. So Melissa, want to welcome you to this. How's the coffee?
Coffee is good.
Good,
Like
awesome. We've got some Bird Rock. We got the Bird here today.
Nice.
So it's kind of mid-blend, and this is Bird Rock Roasters. They're out of San Diego, California, and been kind of buying their beans for the last couple of years. And so anyway, a little shout out to them. If you get a chance, check them out. They make some great beans.
So for a future episode, we're actually going to take the show on the road, and we'll be there.
Hey, okay. She's the idea meister. So you never know if we might have to do a road trip. Like, okay, where do you get coffee? Well, we go to San Diego, ladies and gentlemen. So anyway, Melissa, being the first person on here, give us the 411. Tell us about yourself.
I've been in Las Vegas since 2004.
Mm-hmm.
Moved here from Indiana. I am a Hoosier. I have been in lending since 95, since before my first son was born. That dates me just a little bit. But I enjoy it. I enjoy Vegas. There's always something to do. The weather's fabulous, because if you were in the Midwest right now, you would be shoveling snow.
Exactly. And we about this time of the year get some calls from people from places like Indiana.
Get me out of here!
Yeah, we can find you a place real quick.
Right.
And we're kind of FaceTiming them when it's like 75 degrees out and sunny, kind of like today.
Very much.
So, okay, so in lending for quite a while, you've seen a few different cycles.
Yes.
Both in Indiana and out here.
Yes.
So, and you're also with Nevada State Bank. So
Yes.
that's a little different. I mean, we're talking a bank versus a lending broker.
Mm-hmm.
So would you explain, what are the differences there?
Gosh, put me on the spot here.
Okay.
I mean, bank, it's a traditional bank. You can go in there and do your banking, your checking, your savings. You can get an auto loan. You can get a home equity loan. You can also get a mortgage.
Okay.
I don't know a bank in Vegas that doesn't have all of those products.
So it's kind of like a spectrum of lending options.
Right. Your mortgage broker, that's what they do. That's all they do. Most of them, I think there might be a couple that do home equities, but not very many, and they're probably not as good at it as a bank.
Okay.
Just because, volume numbers, the more you do, the better you get at it. But banks and brokers, very similar when it comes to mortgage lending. We probably all have pretty much the same products. Our rates are comparable, fees are comparable, but each one has its own niche. There's things that brokers can do that banks could never do. There's stuff that credit unions could do that banks or brokers can't do.
We were just chatting about that.
Right.
Exactly.
So and every buyer's going to be, or every borrower's going to be a little bit different with what works for them. I mean, brokers, I did some time with a broker.
Right.
We did a lot of down payment assistance. Nevada State Bank does some down payment assistance, but not to the volume as a broker does.
Gotcha.
So, there's but as far as rates and programs, we're all pretty much the same. A lot of it boils down to who you're comfortable with. If you bank at Nevada State Bank and you come in and you see the teller and she knows your name, hey Don, how you doing? How's your wife? How's the new car?
Right.
You're going to feel comfortable with her. So then you're just chit-chatting and she, you bring up, yeah, we're, maybe looking to buy a second home or we want to refinance. And she says, hey, we have a mortgage lender that is right here in our branch. Let's go talk to her.
So it's kind of a little bit getting back to that personal touch and connection.
Absolutely.
And,
Absolutely.
And Nevada State Bank, local based, but it's part of a broader group.
True. Mm-hmm.
So
we have a footprint through several states. We are owned by Zions Bank Corp, which is based out of Utah.
Okay.
So I can do lending in several neighboring states, but Nevada State Bank still has that hometown feel. So when you walk in, that teller does know your name, and we have been voted best in state 3 years in a row.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's great. That's great. So that kind of leads me when you're talking about, sort of that personal connection, because, we've known each other for a while now in the industry, and I've dealt with people in banking and lending with mortgages where a lot of it's over email and phone.
Mm-hmm.
And, when we're chatting, it's about being face to face with people.
And Nevada State Bank does both. We rolled out, it's called Zip Mortgage. It's our online application program, tool, whatever you want to call it. So those clients coming in from other states, they can start their application online.
Or if it's a busy professional and
Exactly.
even different generations of people. I mean, there's some
Mm-hmm.
people that just want that sort of online entry point.
Correct. But then you also have the flip side to that, not everybody likes that online experience and they want to come in and sit with somebody face to face, and
Right.
we can do that too. I actually like to meet my clients face to face. I just like to have a face to go with the name. It
Mhm.
just, it makes it a more personalized experience, I think. And
Yeah.
sometimes you may not meet them until the end, but when you've had numerous phone conversations, I mean, it's nice to actually go to the closing and meet that person that you've been talking to for the last couple months.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, and that's the big thing. It's about that personal side, and and as we chat quite a bit and talk about different things, a lot of people I see nowadays try to do things in silos, meaning, okay, I'm going to go pick my banker and I'm going to pick my lender, my banker lender, and I'm going to pick my real estate agent. I'm going to pick and choose and kind of like build my little buffet of buying a house, versus looking at it kind of in a more holistic fashion, where you and I will chat and say, okay, we have this client, we have this situation, and try to figure out what is the best strategy for them to purchase this home. And I think in a lot of cases, without that, clients may leave a lot on the table.
That's entirely possible. And when they do that, sometimes that just becomes a transactional relationship.
Exactly.
And that's not what I'm about, and I know that's not what you're about. I've had clients that become friends.
Right.
That, I've had clients that still live out of town. They come to town, we go to dinner.
Yeah.
And we just hang out, and that's the kind of relationships I want with my clients.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And whether, the act of, like you said, transacting, the purchasing, the application of the loan, I mean, that's sort of the, okay, we're going to make this happen.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of times we'll have a more upfront conversation with clients and such as to, okay, here's how best to buy that investment property or second home or refinance the current one.
And something else that comes into that is, I can't do everybody's loan.
Right.
I mean, there's certain circumstances that, different factors, it's just not something the bank has an appetite for. But as long as I've been in Vegas, I have a lot of connections with other mortgage people. And I just had one the other day, something that I could not do.
Yep.
And I picked up the phone and called a colleague and I said, hey, can you do this? And he's like, absolutely. I said, let's get you together with this client. Because although I can't help him, I still want to make sure he's taken care of.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. Best fit. And I had a similar situation recently. It's about the customer.
Mm-hmm.
If you can serve them, great.
Yeah.
And if there's a better served solution,
Right. Exactly.
presenting that is terrific.
Yeah.
So, what other things? What's going on in lending, in banking right now for home mortgages? What do you see going on?
Something that still amazes me is I've seen appraisal waivers come up.
Yes. Starting to see those more and more, aren't we?
Purchase and a rate term refi. Okay, not such a big deal. I've had a couple on cash out refis, and I'm like, really? So that's something interesting. It still amazes me when I see it pop up.
Okay.
You know what? I'm not gonna look a gift horse in the mouth. We'll take it.
Okay. Gotcha. So appraisals, and then so, a lot of people, rates go up, rates go down, and what they qualify for is based on, a lot of factors,
right,
and what programs are available.
Correct.
But what do you see, we're kind of in a bit of a lull, although we've seen some little bumps back up lately. Any sense of how you see mortgages going here over the next maybe?
Only if I had a crystal ball.
Isn't that great?
Rates are still great.
Yeah.
And I speak from experience on that. I mean, I can remember when I thought 6-7% was great.
I think my first house was 8%.
I remember when my parents were in real estate in the 70s, and I remember having no concept of that whole thing, and I would hear 12-13%. I didn't know what that was.
Sounds
but
like
now,
a credit card.
now when I'm like, oh my gosh, and we're in the 3s and 4s. That's amazing.
Exactly.
Rates have started to take little ticks up. I know everybody says, Fed cut prime. That doesn't directly affect mortgage rates, unfortunately.
There's a little correlation, but not a lot.
Not a lot. It affects home equity rates.
Okay.
Directly.
Okay.
Because those are based off of prime.
Gotcha.
First mortgage rates run close with the 10-year treasury.
Yeah, the bond market.
So if you kind of keep an eye on that, then you've seen it start ticking up.
Right.
And rates have started to tick up. By no means are we out of, they're still fabulous.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So now if you're going to buy, we don't know what the future holds, but so now if you're in the market, this is a great time to buy.
Exactly. I mean, we were just at 3-year lows.
Right.
3 or 4-year lows, and a year ago we were pushing 5, and now we're back down. We were just sort of peeled under 4 in some cases, and kind of hovering right around there, low 4s.
Yep. They're absolutely great.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a great time. So again, kind of, although last year we probably thought we were going from 5s to 6s.
Right.
And everyone's, oh my God, what are we going to do?
And we were close to 5s.
We were pushing in there. But again, a year later, opportunity. Because, when you look at it, and that type of long-term rate borrowing, that can free you up with the market. The stock market just hit 28,000. I mean, people are able to leverage their money in their retirement funds or their stocks and create a greater return.
Absolutely.
And things of that nature. So, Melissa, I mean, one thing people out there looking, buying a house, it's typically a once every 7-year thing.
Yeah.
Me, it's once every 20.
Okay.
And
we know you're the exception.
Yeah, I'm not very exceptional, but sometimes the exception. Because we do this infrequently, once every several years, and the economy might have already gone through a cycle of some sort. We almost kind of have to go back to basics. Like, okay, let's go back to how do we go and get a house?
The process, I mean, even thinking back to when I first started, the process doesn't really change.
Okay.
Unless you're paying cash, you still need to find a lender.
Right.
Fill out do the application, whether it's online or in person. But as far as the documentation, the bank still needs to be comfortable with lending you $250,000, $500,000, $1/10,000. I mean, it's still a lot of money.
Right.
Regardless. So we still look at credit. We still want to make sure if we give you this money, you can pay it back.
Right.
So we need to see income streams, whether it's traditional, pay stubs and W-2s, or you're self-employed. We
Yeah.
want tax returns and P&Ls and all of that. So that doesn't change a whole lot. We are still not back to those stated income bank statement days.
Right. I mean, there's some modest exceptions, but it's certainly not the norm.
Correct.
Absolutely. And like you said, from a lending, the ability to pay the loan off, is both beneficial on both sides. I mean, I don't think the bank wants
Perhaps.
a default.
Well, no, the bank
And
doesn't want you to default, but
and
is it really ever in your best interest to pay your mortgage off?
Maybe not pay the best interest, pay your mortgage off.
But yes, make your payments.
Make your payments. Yeah. Service the loan.
Yes.
All that good stuff.
Absolutely.
Because, like you said too, again, as we chatted earlier, managing your money, paying your mortgage off, there may be some advantages to it. There may be some disadvantages.
Correct. Yeah.
A few years ago, for me, a 30-year loan looked pretty good, but recently, just on the side, I just refied to shave 12 years off of the mortgage. The reason being is because at that point in time, I just didn't want to have that cash drain.
Correct. Yeah.
So like I said, I mean, sometimes it may work one way or the other, depending on the case.
Well, and that's, again, every borrower's situation is different.
Absolutely. So, Melissa, we are going to come back here in just a moment. We've got some news and thoughts about what's going on in Vegas, and kind of want to get your opinion, not just from the Nevada State Bank side, but also from just a Las Vegas resident.
Absolutely. Be happy to.
So we'll be back here with our little news and thoughts segment. Stay tuned. All right, and we're back on episode 1. Again, hey, Melissa, thanks for those questions. I appreciate that. And I think the people out there on the internet watching on YouTube and such appreciate the information and coming on in. And so for Nevada State Bank, what we'll do is we'll put a link down below in our description and comments. If you have any comments you want to provide for myself or Melissa, or just send over to Melissa regarding banking, lending in Las Vegas, do me a favor, comment below or message us and we'll get it back to you. And then also, if you like what you're seeing here, again, hit that subscribe button to get the updates on when future Cramer having coffee with Cramer. Well, we're here with Despy having coffee soon. Anyway, so news and thoughts. So we got a couple of little news bits here. One of the big ones you and I were chatting about was this article about this thing called Blue Tech Park Las Vegas. So this is supposedly a $7.5 billion smart city coming to Las Vegas. So it's kind of interesting, isn't it?
Yes, very.
Okay. So, one of the things, being here for a while now, and, I've been here for quite a while, is the city in the state of Nevada talks about diversification, business diversification. We're still, the casino hotel industry is still, kind of our predominant job employer, investor, things of that nature. Construction, it ebbs and flows a little bit. Right now we're on a building spree here with several billion-dollar projects coming online the next couple of years. $7.5 billion for a smart city.
Right.
So it's going to be on Las Vegas Boulevard.
And I think I went, where?
Where? Exactly. So we've got room south as we kind of move all the way down towards the M, which is kind of the bottom, or they can maybe even go on past it. But it's going to have a lot of things behind it. So they've had some press announcements. So one of the items here they're talking about is 210 acres of space. And also, too, they're talking about a lot of innovations in construction techniques, also buildings for businesses and things of that nature. Autonomous vehicles.
I want to know what that self-healing concrete is.
That's kind of interesting. Exactly. Concrete that fixes itself.
I guess so.
That will be a revolution there if we see that, for sure. And it's breaking ground in December. So, in about 6 years to build. So we wish that luck. We are hoping to get more information on it as it comes out.
Yeah, definitely. That'll be interesting to watch.
So, with that $7.5 billion project in new construction, back in the day, there was a project called Sullivan Square. This was
Okay.
before recession.
Okay.
And it was supposed to be, I was trying to figure out where it was, but it was around the curve of 215 there in the west, southwest, like Sunset Russell.
Okay. Across
was
from
like-
IKEA.
Kind of across from IKEA.
Okay.
There's a big hole
Yes.
there.
Yeah.
Well, they're finally going to develop that space. Originally, it was going to be these, beautiful, condos. And when the condo wave was hitting us in the
Right.
mid to late 2000s, well, they're finally going to develop that space. They're putting in another Lifetime Fitness, so they're going to have a third one.
Nice.
So, outside the Henderson location by Green Valley Ranch,
And then
Summerlin right down the
Southwest.
street.
Yeah.
Southwest. So again, more amenities coming to that Southwest area. And that seems to, that's kind of like one of the hot spots right now, isn't it?
It is, and you know what? Another hot spot that is seeing a lot of building and growth is North Las Vegas.
Do tell.
I know there's several builders that are up there.
Yep.
Well, of course, there's always road construction, but
That's everywhere.
it's just new restaurants going in on Craig Road.
Oh, really?
There's Red Lobster, which the last Red Lobster I want to say was down off Decatur, and I don't even know that it's
By the
there
Meadows
anymore.
Mall, yes,
Yeah,
I remember.
yeah.
That place has been there for years.
Yeah. So yeah, that and what was the steakhouse that went in up there? I'm drawing a blank.
Oh, we'll look that up. Put that down in the comments
But
below.
it's nice to see that. I like to see the restaurants and the build. Not crazy building, but tempered building going on.
Exactly, and that's I think one of the things people wonder about is, do we have the craze of construction? And they see a lot of these signs like, okay, coming soon, or new builds and framing and things of that nature. But when you look at it just from the number standpoint, we're not building anywhere at the rate we were in 03, 04 through 07.
No, I think it's a good pace.
Tempered, yeah.
Yes.
It's in track with our population and growth.
Right.
Exactly. So it's nice to hear that the north part. And so we'll have to kind of look into that more, and maybe when we get you back,
Maybe
talk
we'll
about that.
do it on location.
You're like this on location
I do.
thing, don't you? Alrighty. And so anyway, yeah, Lifetime Fitness, going in where the Sullivan Square spot was, right across from IKEA. Actually, right across too, very close by our Urban Nest Southwest office. So we'll plug to our peeps out there. Hey, Melissa, thanks again for being on episode 1.
The inaugural episode.
Absolutely. And again, those out there, thanks for tuning in. If there's a subject you want to learn about in real estate, questions you've got, hit it in the comments down below. We'll feature those on future episodes. And again, hit the subscribe button. We'll be sending out information on future episodes, so you can get those notifications by hitting the subscribe button. So on behalf of my partner, Colleen Schaefer, who you're going to see in future episodes, I'm Don Cramer with Urban Nest Realty, and thanks again for being here today.
Absolutely.
And we're with the Cramer Group, where we believe your real estate experience matters. So give us a call if we can help you with buying, selling, or investing in real estate. We'll see you in the next episode. Take care. Bye.